it's a little weird, and people always like try to make it seem like people don't know my friendships. But it's for me, like, it's not about revenge. It's not about exposing this person.
Woo! Justine Skye did not hold back this time, and the tea is boiling. After years of quiet shade and cryptic unfollows, Sis finally said what everyone's been thinking. Hailey Bieber might just be the queen of use and delete friendships. And guess who's feeling used? Yup, Justine.
It was a lot, and I just felt like I was alone.
The rise of a friendship built on convenience. In today's deep dive, we're exploring a friendship that once had us all in our feels but may have been nothing more than a strategic alliance. Big yikes. Before we unravel all the drama, let's rewind and examine how this friendship began, because the origin story is actually kind of wild. According to Justine Skye herself, her friendship with Hailey Bieber started in a rather embarrassing way. During an interview with iHeartRadio, Justine spilled the tea on how they became besties, which goes back approximately 6 to 7 years from the time of the interview.
It was so many years ago. I think we're going on like maybe 6-7 years of our friendship, and it's kind of really embarrassing, but we were out, and then I was like, I wasn't feeling well and I threw up in her place, and then she like cleaned it up for me, and I was like, this is my best friend.
That's love. That's true love.
This seemingly authentic moment of vulnerability became the foundation of what Justine described as a ride-or-die friendship. Throughout the interview, she repeatedly referred to Hailey as her best friend, painting a picture of a close bond built on mutual support and genuine connection. Bestie goals, or so we thought. The friendship between Justine and Hailey wasn't just confined to private hangouts and late-night gossip sessions. They were literally everywhere together. High-profile events, luxury vacations, and major celebrations. In fact, Justine was even part of Hailey and Justin Bieber's wedding. That's not just friend level, that's inner circle status.
Well, these were just like portraits that were happening. It was a very intimate, small wedding, and it was just a huge moment, like to watch my best friend get married. Yeah, so I was just like, all right, we need photos to remember it, because we're more of the people that like to live in the moment and enjoy.
But what makes this friendship tea extra piping hot is its connection to a broader social circle that includes some of Hollywood's most elite names. In the same iHeartRadio interview, Justine mentioned annual girl trips with Hailey, Kendall Jenner, Bella Hadid, and others, indicating a tightly knit group of friends who regularly spent quality time together. Talk about a powerful squad. This group dynamic is super important to understand.
Yeah, so we used to do these, like, obviously before the world shut down, we did these annual girl trips.
Who else here? Who's all in the photo?
Where there's Renelle, who's my longtime friend, amazing photographer. There's Hailey, best friend, Kendall, best friend, Bella.
Because it places Justine within a powerful social circle that includes the Jenner sisters, who themselves have deep connections to the entertainment industry. Being friends with Kendall and Kylie Jenner means being adjacent to the influential Kardashian-Jenner empire, which can significantly boost one's social capital in Hollywood. The math is mathing, but this is where the story gets more sus. Our research suggests that there may have been more strategic motivations behind Hailey's friendships, particularly given her history with Justin Bieber. According to a deep dive into their relationship, Hailey had been interested in Justin since she was a teenager, long before they eventually got married. Like, we're talking years of manifestation energy. In fact, Hailey met Justin Bieber when she was just 13 years old, during his appearance on The Today Show in 2009. Her father, Stephen Baldwin, reportedly took her backstage to meet the then 15-year-old Justin. This early encounter marked the beginning of what some fans describe as a years-long pursuit of Justin by Hailey. The plot thickens. According to fan theories and social media analyses, Hailey was strategically building connections with people who could put her in Justin's orbit, including befriending the Jenner sisters. This would align with claims made by a self-proclaimed former Justin Bieber superfan, who stated that Hailey would use information about Justin's whereabouts to coincidentally be in the same places as him, not the coincidental run-ins. That's some serious FBI-level stalking. This brings us back to Justine Skye. Given Justine's close friendship with Kendall Jenner, one has to wonder if Hailey's friendship with Justine was also part of this strategy. By being friends with Justine, Hailey would have had another connection to the Jenner circle, further increasing her chances of crossing paths with Justin. Chess, not checkers. It's worth noting that Justin and Selena Gomez had an on-again, off-again relationship from 2010 to 2018, with their final breakup occurring in March 2018. Shortly after, Justin rekindled his relationship with Hailey, proposing in July 2018 and marrying her in September 2018. This timeline has been a point of major contention among fans, leading to theories about Hailey's motives and actions. The timing is sus AF. Justine Skye's presence at Justin and Hailey's wedding indicates that, at least at that point, point, the friendship was still intact. However, the nature of their relationship after the wedding is where things become less clear. Did Hailey maintain the friendship with the same level of enthusiasm once she had secured her position as Mrs. Bieber? Or did the friendship serve its purpose and gradually fade away? We're asking the real questions here. The dynamics of celebrity friendships are complex and often influenced by factors beyond genuine connection. Social climbing, strategic alliances, and mutual benefits can all play a role in how these relationships form and evolve. In Hollywood, where your network can significantly impact your career, friendships can sometimes be tools for advancement rather than authentic bonds. That's just the tea. In the case of Justine and Hailey, their friendship existed within this complex landscape of celebrity relationships, making it difficult to determine how much was genuine and how much was strategic. The public personas presented on social media and in interviews may not always reflect the true nature of these relationships. The girlies are keeping up appearances. What we do know is that Justine Skye consistently referred to Hailey as her best friend during that iHeartRadio interview, suggesting that from her perspective, the friendship was meaningful and important. She shared personal anecdotes and seemed genuinely fond of Hailey, indicating a real bond between them. The vibes were immaculate, at least on the surface. However, as with many celebrity friendships, the public only sees what they choose to show. The true dynamics of their relationship may be far more nuanced than what appears on Instagram or in interviews. And as we'll explore in the next part of our video, there are signs suggesting that this friendship may have taken a turn for the worse. The plot twists just keep coming. The question remains, was Justine Skye just another stepping stone in Hailey Baldwin's journey to becoming Hailey Bieber? Or was there a genuine friendship that, for reasons we'll explore, eventually deteriorated? Stay tuned, besties, because this tea is about to get even hotter. As we follow the breadcrumbs of this celebrity friendship, we'll uncover more about how Justine and Hailey's relationship evolved over time and what might have led to its apparent demise. We'll examine the role of Justin Bieber in this friendship dynamic and how his relationship with Hailey potentially impacted her friendship with Justine. The saga continues, but before we delve into the potential falling out between Justine and Hailey, it's important to understand the broader context of Hailey's relationships and behaviors. Numerous sources and fan analyses suggest that Hailey has a pattern of emulating others, particularly Selena Gomez, Justin's ex-girlfriend, not the copycat behavior. There are multiple documented instances where Hailey appeared to copy Selena's outfits, poses, and even business ventures. This behavior has not gone unnoticed by fans, who have compiled evidence of these similarities across social media platforms. If Hailey indeed has a tendency to use people and situations for her benefit, as these patterns might suggest, it raises questions about the authenticity of her friendship with Justine. The red flags are waving. Now is a good time to look at how Justine and Hailey's friendship evolved after the wedding, and examine the evidence suggesting that Justine may have been used and dumped once she no longer served a purpose in Hailey's social strategy. Buckle up, besties! The Selena Gomez factor and signs of friction. No conversation about Hailey Bieber and her relationships is complete without examining the looming shadow of Justin Bieber's most significant ex-girlfriend. Let's be real. You can't talk about Hailey without mentioning Selena, period. Selena Gomez and Justin Bieber's relationship was not just any celebrity romance. It was a defining cultural moment that captivated fans worldwide. Their on-again, off-again relationship, often referred to as Jelena, spanned from 2010 to 2018, with multiple breakups and reconciliations in between. The intensity and public nature of their relationship created a devoted fan base that, in many ways, still hasn't fully accepted its end, and the Stan Wars continue to this day. To understand how Selena factors into the Justin-Hailey friendship, we need to look at Justin's own statements about his relationship with Selena. In a revealing interview, Justin openly acknowledged the significance of his relationship with Selena, and his words are, well, let's just say they're not what any wife wants to hear about an ex.
I would say, best part of the teenage years. Got shut off perfect timing.
I know, right?
I was like, huge.
Deep.
It's on purpose.
Yeah, we're getting deep. Deep.
What was it?
Owning a Ferrari.
No, not that.
Going deeper than that.
Sickest part when I was probably my relationship with my ex-girlfriend.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
That's deep.
That's deep.
That was on the list of things we're not allowed to talk about.
Yeah, well, I'm not going to talk about it, but I'm just going to say that and we'll leave it there.
In another interview, Justin elaborated on his feelings for Selena, describing her as his first real love. Ouch, that's gotta sting for Hailey.
She was your first real love,
First
right?
real love, yeah.
Talked about living together.
Moved in with her at a young age. It was tough, man.
How hard was it to get over that?
It was really tough. I don't know if I'm still over it yet. I think that I'm definitely like in another place, and think we've definitely went our separate ways.
These statements reveal the depth of Justin's feelings for Selena, even after their relationship ended. This context is crucial because it helps explain why Hailey might have felt threatened by Selena's continued presence in Justin's life and thoughts. Imagine having your husband publicly say he might not be over his ex yet. I would be seething. The intricate triangle between Justin, Selena, and Hailey created a complicated backdrop for all of Hailey's relationships, including her friendship with Justine Skye. If Hailey was indeed insecure about Justin's past with Selena, as many fans speculate, it might have influenced how she approached and maintained her friendships. The domino effect is real. One of the most telling incidents that provides insight into this dynamic occurred in early 2023, when a TikTok video featuring Hailey, Kendall Jenner, and Justine Skye went viral. The video showed the three of them lip-syncing to audio saying, "I'm not saying she deserves it, but God's timing is always right." Many fans interpreted this as shading Selena Gomez, especially given the timing coincided with Selena facing body-shaming scrutiny online. The shade of it all. This video was particularly significant because it placed Justine squarely in the middle of the ongoing tension between Hailey and Selena. By participating in what many perceived as a dig at Selena, Justine appeared to be firmly on Team Hailey in the perceived rivalry. Picking sides is always risky in Hollywood. However, things took an interesting turn in the months following this incident. Observant fans noticed that Justine and Hailey were seen together less frequently, raising questions about the status of their friendship. What happened to the annual girl trips and the constant social media interactions that once characterized their relationship? The internet detectives were on the case. Adding to the speculation, Justine was notably absent from many of Hailey's major life events in recent years, including the announcement of her pregnancy with Justin. For someone who was once described as a best friend and was present at their wedding, this absence seemed telling. The silence is deafening. Even more intriguing is how Justine has positioned herself in relation to the ongoing drama between Hailey and Selena. After the controversial TikTok video, there were signs that Justine was distancing herself from the conflict. In fact, some eagle-eyed fans noticed subtle indications that Justine might have switched allegiances, showing support for Selena in ways that would not go unnoticed by Hailey. The plot twist we didn't see coming. For instance, Justine has been seen using Selena's beauty brand, Rare Beauty, in her makeup routines, which could be interpreted as a subtle show of support for Selena. While this might seem trivial to some, in the world of celebrity feuds, these small gestures often carry significant weight and are closely analyzed by fans. And in Hollywood, switching beauty brands is practically a declaration of war. Another aspect worth exploring is the broader pattern of Hailey's friendships over the years. Many fans have pointed out that Hailey seems to have a revolving door of friends, with certain individuals being prominently featured in her life for a period before disappearing entirely. This pattern supports the theory that Hailey's friendships might be more transactional than genuine. It's giving use and discard energy. In the case of Justine, it's possible that once Hailey secured her place as Justin Bieber's wife and established herself as an influencer and entrepreneur in her own right, she no longer needed the social capital that came with being friends with Justine. This would align with the fan theory that Hailey strategically builds relationships that serve her goals. The mathematics of Hollywood friendship. The timeline also raises questions. Hailey and Justin got married in September 2018, and for a while, Justine remained a visible part of their circle. However, as Hailey's brand grew and she launched her beauty line Rhode in 2022, her public appearances with Justine seemed to decrease. This correlation could be coincidental, but it aligns with the narrative that Hailey's friendships shift as her personal and professional needs evolve. The pattern is not a coincidence. It's also worth considering how Justine's own career developments might have impacted the friendship. During her interview with iHeartRadio, Justine discussed her music and her collaboration with Timbaland, indicating a focus on her artistry and career growth. As both women pursued their respective paths, it's possible that they naturally grew apart, rather than there being a deliberate dumping by Hailey. But the timing is still sus.
Well, that was me being locked in a room, because I needed to not be distracted by anything surrounding me. And it was also the beginning of quarantine. So I was just this was the first beat that Timbaland ever sent me, which is the beat for Intruded, which is out right now.
However, the timing of the apparent cooling of their friendship, coupled with Justine's subtle shifts in alignment regarding the Hailey-Selena drama, suggests that there might be more to the story than just growing apart naturally. The vibes don't lie. Another significant factor to consider is the role of the broader social circle, particularly Kendall Jenner. As mentioned in the previous section, Kendall is friends with both Hailey and Justine. In fact, During the iHeartRadio interview, Justine referred to both of them as her best friends. Talk about being stuck in the middle.
Yeah. So we used to do these, like, obviously before the world shut down, we did these annual girl trips.
Who else here? Who's all in the photo?
Where there's Renelle, who's my longtime friend, amazing photographer. There's Hailey, best friend. Kendall, best friend. Bella.
Kendall's continued friendship with both women might have created a complex dynamic, especially if there was indeed tension between Hailey and Justine. It's possible that Kendall served as a bridge between them, maintaining relationships with each individually, even if they were no longer close to each other. The social web is tangled. What's particularly interesting about the situation is how it mirrors other friendship dynamics in Hailey's life. For instance, the relationship between Hailey and Jordyn Woods follows a similar pattern. Initially close, their friendship became strained following Jordyn's falling out with the Kardashian-Jenner family over the Tristan Thompson incident. However, in October 2023, Jordyn was seen attending Hailey's Rhode Lip Tint launch party in Paris, suggesting a possible reconciliation. The pattern repeats itself. This pattern suggests that Hailey's friendships are deeply intertwined with her social positioning and the broader celebrity ecosystem. Relationships may cool off, but can be rekindled when it serves a purpose, reinforcing the idea that these connections are at least partially strategic. It's all about the chess moves. Returning to Justine and Hailey, there's no explicit public statement from either party confirming a fallout. However, the absence of joint appearances and social media interactions that once characterized their relationship speaks volumes in the world of celebrity friendships. The silence tells the whole story. It's also worth noting that both women have been busy with their respective careers. Hailey has been focused on growing her Rhode beauty brand, while Justine has been developing her music career. These professional commitments might naturally lead to less time for maintaining friendships, especially if those friendships were more circumstantial than deeply rooted. But still, something doesn't add up. But the most compelling evidence of a potential rift comes from the subtle shifts in allegiance observed in Justine's behavior, particularly regarding the Selena Gomez factor. If Justine has indeed shown support for Selena, it would likely be perceived as a betrayal by Hailey, given the complex history and ongoing tension between Hailey and Selena. And we all know how Hollywood works. You pick a side, or you're out. The Selena Gomez factor cannot be underestimated in understanding the dynamics of Hailey's relationships. Justin's own statements about Selena reveal the significant impact she had on his life, which would naturally affect Hailey as his wife. The past continues to haunt the present.
I love her and I want her to be awesome, but there's things that remind me of her, and yeah, it's my first real love.
You worried that maybe you met her too early?
Yeah, I wrote a song, actually, didn't make the album, but it was called If I Would Have Met You in 5 Years. It's just like, how true is that? How many people go through life and end up meeting someone and it just feels so right, but it's just the wrong time? So many people can relate to that.
This lingering emotional connection between Justin and Selena could potentially fuel insecurities in Hailey, affecting how she approaches relationships with people who might have ties or sympathies toward Selena. In this context, any perceived shift in Justine's loyalty could have triggered a cooling of the friendship. Loyalty is everything in Hailey's world. Current state of affairs and the bigger picture. While there hasn't been an explicit public fallout or direct statement from Justine or Hailey confirming a friendship breakdown, the evidence points to a significant cooling off period, if not a complete dissolution of their once close bond. The vibes have definitely shifted. In recent years, public sightings of Justine and Hailey together have become increasingly rare. Their social media interactions, once frequent and affectionate, have dwindled to basically nothing. For two individuals who were once inseparable and described each other as best friends, this radio silence speaks volumes. Actions speak louder than words. But perhaps the most telling indication of a potential rift is how Justine has navigated the complex dynamics between Hailey and Selena Gomez. The controversy surrounding Hailey, Selena, and Justin has been a defining feature of celebrity gossip for years, with fans divided into passionate camps. In this high-stakes social landscape, any perceived alignment can have significant implications for one's position within certain celebrity circles. The battle lines are drawn. Interestingly, there have been subtle signs suggesting that Justine may have shifted away from Team Hailey in recent times. While she participated in the controversial TikTok video with Hailey and Kendall that many perceived as shading Selena, subsequent actions indicate a possible change of heart, or at least a desire to distance herself from the drama. The plot thickens. This potential realignment becomes even more significant when we consider Justin Bieber's own complex feelings about his relationship with Selena. In multiple interviews, Justin has spoken candidly about the impact Selena had on his life, not what Hailey wants to hear.
Yeah, I think we're young, and there's things that we did and things that we said to each other that were just kind of like, we broke some barrier. It's things you just don't say to someone you love or do to someone you love.
Out of immaturity or?
Out of immaturity and out of selfishness and out of just being human, dude.
The emotional weight of Justin's past with Selena could potentially create a challenging dynamic for anyone in Hailey's inner circle. If Justine showed any sympathy or support for Selena, it might have been perceived as a betrayal by Hailey, given the sensitivity of the situation. Walking on eggshells must be exhausting. It's also worth noting that Justin himself has acknowledged causing hurt in his relationship with Hailey, which adds another layer to the complex interpersonal dynamics at play. The plot just keeps getting juicier. These revelations suggest a relationship with its own challenges and insecurities, which might influence how Hailey approaches her friendships, particularly with those who might have divided loyalties. Trust issues galore. But beyond the specifics of the Justine-Hailey friendship, this situation illuminates broader patterns in how celebrity relationships function. The world of high-profile friendships is often more complex than it appears on Instagram, with social calculations and strategic alliances playing a significant role. Nothing is what it seems. For instance, Hailey's pattern of friendships over the years shows a tendency toward connections that serve a purpose within her social climbing strategy. From her early pursuit of Justine Bieber as a teenage fan to her strategic friendships with individuals connected to his circle, there appears to be a calculated approach to relationship building. We see the chess moves. This doesn't necessarily mean that all of Hailey's friendships are inauthentic. Human relationships are multifaceted, and genuine connection can coexist with strategic benefit. However, when patterns emerge across multiple relationships, it's worth examining the underlying motivations. Where there's smoke, there's fire. In the case of Justine, it's possible that their friendship was genuine but became collateral damage in the larger social chess game being played. As Hailey established herself as Justin's wife and built her own brand, the social capital that came with being friends with Justine may have diminished in value. Alternatively, if Justine did indeed show support for Selena, it might have triggered a protective response from Hailey, leading to a cooling of the friendship. The social hierarchy is real. What makes this situation particularly intriguing is the absence of public drama. Unlike many celebrity fallouts that play out in the tabloids or on social media, Justine and Hailey's apparent drift apart has been relatively quiet and dignified. There have been no subtweets, no public callouts, and no dramatic unfollowings, just a gradual fading of what was once a highly visible friendship. Sometimes silence speaks louder than 1,000 words. This kind of subtle dissolution actually aligns with how many real-world friendships end, not with a bang, but with a whimper. People grow apart, priorities shift, and relationships that once seemed central to one's life quietly become peripheral. The difference is that in the world of celebrities, these natural evolutions are scrutinized and analyzed for deeper meaning. And we're here for all the analysis. And perhaps there is deeper meaning to be found. The apparent end of Justine and Hailey's friendship does seem to coincide with significant shifts in the social landscape they inhabit, particularly regarding the Selena-Hailey drama. This timing suggests that external factors played a role in their drift apart, rather than it being solely a natural evolution. Coincidence? I think not. This brings us to an important question. Was Justine used and dumped by Hailey, as our title suggests? Based on the available evidence, it's difficult to make such a definitive claim. While there are patterns in Hailey's relationships that suggest strategic social climbing, we don't have explicit confirmation that this was the case with Justine, but the vibes are definitely giving disposable friendship. What we do know is that Justine was once a prominent figure in Hailey's life, featured in her wedding and described as a best friend. We also know that this visibility has significantly decreased in recent years, coinciding with shifts in the social dynamics surrounding the Selena-Hailey-Justin triangle. The timeline is sus AF. If we consider Hailey's history and the timing of the apparent friendship cooling, it's not unreasonable to speculate that Justine may have served a purpose in Hailey's social strategy and was eventually sidelined when that purpose was fulfilled, or when loyalties came into question. However, without direct statements from either party, this remains speculation, rather than confirmed fact. But we're connecting the dots. What is clear is that the friendship between Justine and Hailey offers a fascinating case study of how celebrity relationships function within the complex ecosystem of Hollywood social politics. It illustrates the often transient nature of these connections and the role that strategic considerations can play in their formation and dissolution. Hollywood friendships are a whole different ballgame. For fans of either Justine or Hailey, this situation might be disappointing. We often invest emotionally in celebrity friendships, seeing them as aspirational models of connection. The idea that these relationships might be partially or wholly strategic can feel like a betrayal of that investment. The disillusionment is real. However, it's important to remember that celebrities are navigating an ecosystem where personal and professional lives are inextricably linked. Friendships can have career implications, and social positioning can impact financial opportunities. In this context, strategic relationship management becomes not just a social choice, but a professional one as well. It's all part of the celebrity game. The question remains, did Hailey truly value Justine as a friend, or was she just another stepping stone on Hailey's path to becoming Mrs. Bieber? The evidence is stacked, the timeline is suspicious, and the silent fallout speaks volumes. If you've stayed till this point, then you need to be up to date with the latest tea on Hailey Bieber. Click any of the cards showing on your screen right now.